Police are currently investigating a shooting incident at Lesiba Secondary School in Daveyton. It is alleged that a pupil shot another after an altercation. The 16-year-old with the gun then allegedly shot himself. The Gauteng Education MEC, Panyaza Lesufi, speaks to us now about this and other incidents that have unfortunately marred the start of the new year. MEC, this incident in Daveyton being the one really that has again brought to the fore concerns around school safety, but it wasn't the only one this week.
Indeed, Tulas, maybe let me start by extending our sincere condolences to the families that are affected, as well as the school and the learners and the broader community. It's a sad day for us to lose two lives, young lives, if I have to say so, on something that I really feel that is not worth it. So we are dealing with the situation. The police have given us a criminal report. The school has also compiled a report, including our district. And out of those reports, to us, it's quite clear that there was no need for loss of life. If people argue in life. You've just argued now with MEC. They didn't mean that you need to exchange fire and someone must lose their life. So we are providing psychosocial support to the affected learners, especially close friends. We are monitoring something that we really believe must not happen. Police have advised us it's something that is possible, where friends of the two deceased may want to revenge their deaths, and we are working very hard to avoid that.
And MEC, there was another incident, and I'm told this is at Pupil School in Soweto as well. Also, another shooting incident.
Yes, it's our security guard or our general assistant was attacked for no apparent reason. And police are also assisting us to track the perpetrators. We are trying to find a way of linking up with the family so that we can also extend our sincere condolences to them. But it's a situation that confirms our fear to us, that schools are starting to be sitting ducks for criminals, and that we need law enforcement agencies to provide the necessary support that we need. Because we are an education institution, we can't invest in detector methods. We can only invest in hiring good teachers. We can only invest in building new schools. We can only invest in ensuring that learners have stationery. But things like weapons control or detector methods, we need law enforcement agencies to come and provide the necessary support. But I'm happy with the Department of Community Safety led by MEC Faith Mazibugo. They've taken education as part of the areas of their work, and with the cars that we've just donated as the provincial government to the police, part of the mandate is that our schools should be part of the patrolling point of the police.
Yeah, and MEC, these conversations, I remember having them with you over the years, that it then comes down to there's violence in society, which then is reflected in violence happening in our schools. It's a society-wide issue. It's almost impossible to pinpoint and say, we should have metal detectors in schools. I remember at some point you were thinking about that possibility. But as you say, you are worried that schools are beginning to become a sitting duck. Other than the call for this, the departments that are responsible for community safety, the police, etc., sort of stepping up patrols around schools, what else can be done in your view?
Well, we've invested on three things to last. The first one is what we call high-tech security arrangement. This means in almost 700 of our schools, we've put CCTV cameras. It's not just a CCTV camera. We call face recognition cameras. Basically means that they are linked to various departments, either the police database or Home Affairs database, so that the person that we identify, we can also check the details of that particular individual. We're also investing in what we call an alarm system, so that at night or during strategic periods, especially when schools are closed, the alarm system can also assist us. And the last part, which is very key, is the human capital around our schools. We're investing a lot on community patrollers. We're having people that are volunteering to come to be community patrollers. We're giving them a stipend every month, but we're also giving them tools that they can utilize to protect our schools. That cannot be enough, but at least is the bare minimum that we can to avoid things happening in our schools.
MEC, before I run out of time, what's the update around the situation around the placement of pupils who've not been placed in class about 3 days since the start of the school year? A few days ago, you apologized, and I said that it's not enough for you to say, I'm sorry for this situation. An apology would be for you to actually fix this situation and ensure that it doesn't recur every year. Certainly the part of it that you can control, which has to do with your online registration and placement, which has been a contributor as well to the problems.
Thank you so much, Tulas. It pains me, I must be honest. That is why I said to you, I'm in a public space because I'm in a district to also sort out that. We've reduced the numbers significantly. When the schools were opened, we had only 700 people that still needed to be placed. We are now at 258, that is around 300. We really believe that we'll conclude that aspect by the end of January. Tulas, yeah, we are managing the situation. It's not out of lack of planning or out of lack of resources. I can confirm to you now, Tulas, that the number of schools and the classrooms you have can accommodate all the learners. The problem is that people prefer certain schools, and those schools are few. And because those schools are few, there's no way that we can overload those schools. I can give you a practical example. You can take GP Girls. You can only take 250 learners there, and you've got almost 3,000 people that have applied. So even if you don't use online registration, you'll never accommodate all those people in one school because that school can't be a grade 8 school. Even if you can convert into a grade 8 school, they have to go to grade 9 next year. Where will they go? So it's not an online problem because the online registration was a strategic intervention. There are some schools where no-go area for other parents. When we're at the gate, they will tell the school is already full. Or they will tell you, if your parents didn't come to this school, you can't go to that school. Or they will have an open day for privileged few and not invite everyone. And they will ask you to bring a certain amount before they can give you a form. If you fill that form, if you are lucky to fill that form, they will take your form and put it underneath because you've got the wrong surname, or they will throw it in the bin. You can't account for that application. But with the online registration, we can apply equally, and each and every application can be accounted for. So the blame on online registration, I really feel that is misplaced. Take, for example, Western Cape is not using online registration. Go to their offices now. They are chock-a-block of people looking for spaces.
Yeah.
Is it online registration? No. You go to Devon, their offices are chock-a-block. People are looking for spaces. Is there an online there? No. You come to our offices, we're only using online for grade 1 and grade 8. But there are people that are on grade 2, grade 3 that are still looking for places. So to point an online registration, I think, is an easy way out rather than confronting the issue.
All right, MEC, I'm completely out of time. Thank you for your time. And by the way, if I have to come to a verdict, I prefer MEC Lebogang Maile. He puts on the gloves with me. You are too meek.
I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover, my brother.
MEC Panyaza Lesufi there, speaking to us about various issues that are at play in the environment and education in Gauteng, particularly the situation around violence.